Okay, I'm done with the setup, and I think we're gonna paint. I'll admit it was a bit of a coin toss whether I was actually gonna stream or not. I got wrapped up in the game, and I'm like, oh, I should probably actually stream, and then 7 o'clock passed, and then we're at 8:20, and I'm deciding to do this. But I hope everyone's doing well. And they're having a good week so far. We are already halfway through the week. It's almost the weekend again. And at least for us in the U.S., we are almost 1 week away from 4th of July, which is kind of crazy. At least for me to think about. How's it going, Toast? I'll switch over to here real quick. I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone's doing well. Hey, Roast, how's it going? Turn that way. So, we are going to continue painting up Deathwing and stuff like that, but I wanted to change the title because, it's going well. Spent a fortune on Warhammer World. How was that? Oh, that's on my bucket list of places to check out. A little bit on the fence on what I want to do. Definitely want to continue the Deathwing Knights, but I also, because now I'm running, I kind of want to redo this chaplain I've had for a while. This was like the very first, actually this is the first chaplain that I've ever had, and I want to upgrade him as well to kind of the same style that I have this other chaplain slash Judiciar. I use Army Painter, and sometimes Army Painter is like 95%, and then I'll use like Citadel Contrast Paint if I need to. You feel like someone personally crafted this week for you? How so? It took you an hour trying to look for this ass and then you gave up. I want to try finding it. I'm sure it's in like a really well hidden spot, and I know they change it. Or do they change it every time? They change it like what, every month something? I heard. At least that's what I heard. Damn, that is a good chunk of change. Where was I? Oh yeah. My 2,000 point list change. I finally made some changes. Not big ones. I removed the Judiciar, so I'm no longer running a Judiciar in my list because Fights First is, I think, worse. I still don't fully understand how it works now. And I switched it out for a Chaplain and a Lieutenant. Oh, that does sound like a good week, Dingo. Excuse me. If I had the point total, I would still use the Judiciar, but I don't know. I think Chaplain's the better way to go. Having a +1 the wound, especially, this is for my Blade Guard. I'm like, Blade Guard with Lieutenant would have lethals, and I'm running that Special Lieutenant that running this guy. This is the push fit model I've had for a little while. Let me bring my hands down a little bit. I'm like so far up here. So, I'm going to do a little bit of work with that, but I think that'll be good. It is an amazing box. I love all the character models in it. And I'm liking all... Actually, I like all the models in it so far. I've only built half the Intercessor and all the characters. I need to finish building the rest. I'm thinking this weekend I will get a Warhammer game Sunday, and then I'm going to take once I'm done with the game, I'm going to finish building the box. And I'll do that. So it'll be all good game all the way around. Probably should start painting, but I'm also enjoying yapping. Yeah, let's start painting. I can get all the blue done on these guys at least, and we'll see if I get to the chaplain or not. I shouldn't leave his armor black. It might end up staying black. I want to do it the really dark blue like I did for the other guy. But I might leave it as is because it's a nice little difference between the two. Your favorite are the troll mechs from Skylander and the Vanguard vet? Oh, I'm like, what do you mean by troll mech? And I think you're talking about the orcs. You're talking about the orc side of the box. Yeah, I don't have the orc half models. I don't have the orc half of the box, I mean. Because I split it with someone so I could actually afford it. They have the orc half, and I have everything else. Which I did do. I heard Skylander, and I thought... Honestly, that's what I thought. I thought of that, like, weird, like... you'd buy, like, little figures, and then they would... You could put them in, like, a... I don't remember what device it was. There was a device that you could put them in, and they would upload to your, like, profile, and you could use them as, like, little fight guys. I don't know. I don't remember the device, but definitely was Skylanders. And yeah, we'll go with that. Was it okay? Was it its own system, or like was it a part of like the Wii system? It was part of the Wii. That's what it was. Yes. Yes, come together, my pretty. He. Rosa is a he. But yes, I did see they were streaming. I have not popped in. I'm sure they're going to be finishing up sometime soon. But I'm glad the stream went well, and good to see you here, Coffee. I do know who you're talking about. I'm just... If you read their channel description, they do specify that they're a guy. So... Just correcting that. Not that I probably should. I just like people to respect what others have posted. Because I will admit, I was confused when I first heard their voice. And I'm like, okay. But, no, it makes sense. Very, very nice creator. I should chat with him a bit more on Instagram, but I kind of I leave him be. Don't want to bombard them with too much. It's always once in a while. It always makes me happy whenever I see them like my posts, because they're a person I look up to. They make really amazing stuff. Ooh, best luck with getting your braces off, Dingo. I just saw that. Well, good night. Hammer. Let's see. I think. Okay. Excuse me. It's all of a sudden I get on stream and I get all phlegmy. What else has been new? I don't think really too much has been new. I got... Actually, no, I think Saturday I'd like to go gem hunting with a friend. Well, I want to go gem hunting, period, but I might take a friend along. What's up, AR? Good to see you here. There's a place like 45 minutes from where I live currently. And it's a little old amethyst mine that you can go. Mine is like very liberal. It's a cleared spot in the forest that you can go and dig up and find stuff. Although it's been picked through pretty well. But if you go the day after it rains, you'll find like little shards still left. So someone showed me that, and I came away with like 5 pieces one day. It's a nice little fun thing. If you ever have like a public mine or a place people do go find for gems, or know anyone that does gem hunting, go with them. It's such a fun little side thing to do. There. I had a sad 40k theory, not gonna lie. What is your sad 40k theory? Ooh, I'm also thinking about making another 2,000 point Space Marine list. So, reason being, I want a regular Space Marine list. I am currently running a Dark Angels list, as me painting up these models. But I'd like to run regular Space Marines for a little bit, and see how that plays out. And I think I could use all these models, roughly. Azrael and the Line are going to be hard to replace. Now, the Line hasn't done too much for me in games quite yet in 11th. But Azrael with that command point, extra command point every turn, that's going to be hard to find a replacement for. I wish there was another model that I could use to like automatically give me another command point each turn. It'd probably be like doing Calgar or something, but I don't want to play Ultramarines. I just want to play regular Space Marines. I understand Ultramarines are like the better ones to play as for Space Marines, but they get enough stuff in the book, and I don't want to play just. I'm just gonna say I don't want to play them. What if the Long War Chaos Space Marine had like lives and aspirations before being inducted into the Legion, and lived like 10k years with regrets and stuff? I'm pretty sure that's like a thing brought up multiple times in like the 40, like yeah, in the 40k books. It might be brought up in 30k. I mean, I think it's hinted at with like the Primaris when they're, at least in a couple books, there's like, they have flashbacks to when they were in 30k, and they're like, our whole lives are different and changed from where we were. And I'm sure that happens with the Chaos Marines as well, because they've been around vaguely for 10,000 years. Like, to them, it's been a couple years, but it's not it's been 10,000 years in the real world, or in the Materium. Like, having regrets and all that stuff is very common. I'm pretty sure. Also, if there's any, like, not that it's common, but any guardsmen or people that were on the ships when they went into the warp, like, those people are really out of time. Those are the ones that are like, we joined Chaos and our lives are just ruined. I'm just imagining an Iron Warrior attacking Olympia, and maybe he walked around the area he grew up. Oh, there's actually a book in, I think, 30K. I saw a YouTube short about that exact thing you're talking about. Swiggity, I will get to your comment in a moment, because I do have something on that. But no, what you just described, AR, is actually in an Iron Warriors book where they are attacking. I think it's like Perturabo is sending his legion. I have to find it again. I don't remember the channel. But it is a 30K book, and they're like attacking Olympia, like doing some sort of thing because they failed. Because Perturabo ordered them to like go and all that stuff. And while they're doing it, one of them's like, dude, I grew up here. I'm not doing this anymore. These are the people and places that I was as a kid. Screw our Primarch is pretty much what it boils down to. And like him and his brother get into an argument about it. Have no idea the name. If I knew the name, I would tell you. And I apologize about that, AR. Yes, Swiggity. Hello. So, you said earlier, things that suck about getting older is you cannot do fun stuff without being looked at funny. So, my comment to that. Who cares? You're the only one that, like, is making... Okay, you're the only one that is thinking that for that. If anyone, like, looks at you and questions it, to be like, okay, I'm doing something I have fun and I enjoy. There is a period, and I remember this in high school, where I was like, I don't want to do anything outside the norm, and I want to be like everyone else. Or not everyone else, but I don't want to stand out is the main topic. And that was from like high school to like 22, 23. I was like that. I'm like, I want to be the regular average A person. No one look at me, all that stuff. I just blend in, not do anything fun. And then one day, I was like scrolling through, start getting a bunch of stuff where it's like, you're the only one holding yourself back. No one else cares. Everyone else is their own main character in their head. Like, no one fully pays attention to you. All the thoughts that you have inside your head is what everyone else has in their head as well. So, if there's something fun that you want to go do it. Like, go be the nerdy person that plays card games. Hell, stuff that I did as a kid that as I got older, like, oh, people are gonna find that weird. That's popular now. Like, all that's gonna matter is as you get older, the stuff you find interesting, you're gonna be like, screw it, I want to do it because it's fun. That's why Ren fairs exist. That's why anime conventions exist. Like, people might see those people as weird, but they're having a goddamn blast and having fun at it. I've been to Ren fairs. They're so much fun. And you know what I think when I see people that are also in cosplay? I don't think, oh, they're like nerdy or that they look funny and a lot of stuff. I'm like, good on them. They're having fun. They enjoy what they're doing. They're having a good time. Sometimes I actually compliment people too on their outfits because some people's outfits look really good. So, that's my 2 cents. It was long-winded. I have words I would have preferred to say, and it's only 2 words, but I'm not going to say them because, family friendliness. Ooh, okay, AR. Another thing that pops in my head is I don't know if this was a Night Lord scene or not, but I think in one of the Night Lord books, again in 30K, there's an older woman that recognizes one of the Marines, and she speaks to him, and it turns out that it's his mother. She recognizes the Space Marine as her son. And he does not recognize her because of he was just young. I think it's like, what, between 5 and a 12 is what they're taking as to be a Space Marine. Like 12 is the latest. It's like better. It's better being taken younger than it is older. So there are people that like recognize others, like they recognize Space Marines as their loved ones, and the Space Marines do not recognize them at all, or they're completely different from what their family members remember that person being. Because by the time they are a full-fledged Space Marine, it's been like a couple decades. I don't know how long they stay as a scout for, but it's definitely a few decades. I think some it's even like a century. I actually kind of want to find one now. I heard somewhere that like if your son becomes like an Ultramarine, it's seen as like a huge honor, and the family puts up like a statue or something like that of some sort, being like, our son is an Ultramarine and all that stuff. I know with salamanders they supposedly can go see their family. And again, it might have been a couple hundred years, like their direct family might be gone, but they can see the people that are their descendants and go and interact with them. Like when they have time off, that's the main thing. When they have time off, that's when they can go and interact with the other people. Which isn't very often, because Space Marines don't get a lot of time off. Nor do I don't think they get any, because their main purpose is to go out and fight things and then die. Like going back to their home places to get new recruits again. Hey Taylor, how's it going? Ooh, I need to plug my phone in just in case it dies. No, don't be a cultist, because being a cultist even sucks. Being in 40K just sucks. Well, that's good. Um... Being a Drukari, maybe. I don't know if I'd want to live as a Drukari. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not trying to be too focused on the numbers, because they are just numbers, but I do appreciate every single one of you guys that are a part of the community and all that stuff. See, my vote is just don't join the 40k universe. There is nothing in the 40k universe that I would want to be a part of. Are there a couple things from 40k that I'd like to bring into our world? Yes. Like, I will fully say I would love to bring an Imperial Knight into our world and have that giant mech. Oh, we would just be every regular day people. We would all just die. I think like a tech priest would see our phones and be like, abominable intelligence, shoot us, and then go and like hide it away somewhere. Yeah. You know what? Power to you. I will stay in my comfy real world and enjoy my stuff. I don't want to even think about... Like, if I had the opportunity to join 40k, no, I'd tell them no. Shut that portal. That offer goes away. There's nothing in 40k that I would want to be. And that's the main thought you gotta have, is just... Is it worth it? And I say no. Ugh. Let's see what else. Let's see, if I was to do a regular Marine list, I'd probably run these as... Would regular Terminators be better, or still using Assault Terminators be better? I know, half the year is already over. Kind of crazy to think about that. I can think back to when January was, and I'm like, this is going to be a good year. I'll enjoy it. I'll go through with it. And, yeah, it is. We're already past. Yeah, this is month 6. Next month is month 7. It is. I really haven't done a lot of things I wanted to do, but I think it just means I gotta take some time and actually go through with it. I have no idea what my plans are for 4th of July. 4th of July. What did I say earlier? 4th of July? What the hell is the 4th of July? It's J's weird to think about. Yeah, June, July. I've not gone fishing or done anything outside that much this year. Oh, but actually, to be honest, the weather up here, like every weekend, I think besides 2 to 3 weekends, have been nothing but rain. So I'm kind of like, on a rainy weekend, there's nothing to freaking do outside. Like the time that I have off. Like I get home and I come on and I start streaming. Most of the time. Or I'm getting Warhammer games in. I'm glad this weekend's actually supposed to be nice. I just... Last weekend was good. I just didn't do anything last weekend. I felt really crappy about it. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. When life is busy, it is going to take some time to actually enjoy it. I'd like to go to the beach this year. Again. I went last year. I haven't gone again this year yet. I want to do some more camping. Want to do some... Just want to do more outdoor stuff. Before I'm stuck inside for like 4 months of the year again. And I have no interest in doing any of the fucking work that we do outside in the winter. I apologize for my language. I just thought about snow and got a little bit perturbed. I'm trying to think back on like one of my goals I had this year. Yeah. So, a while ago I wrote down some goals that I wanted to complete in this year, or like a certain time frame on like what I want things to happen. I kind of wrote down like a 5-year plan for some stuff. I don't know where it went. And one of those was like hitting 500 subs within, I think I put down 3 years. And it's kind of astonishing how close I am to that within like a year. And I was like, I'm just astonished on time frame. It's more it is. Like, I'm really bad at visualizing like how long to reach a certain goal, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, 3 years sound reasonable for getting this goal, and then it could take way longer or way shorter. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm probably just wasting words here. But I think deep down I want to hit 500 by the end of the year. But I'm also not expecting to hit 500 at the end of the year either. I think camping food in general is just way better. I don't know what... Okay. Every time I go camping, I bring like food out of my fridge to go cook over a fire. And every time I do, it tastes 10 times better than if I made it on the stove at home. I think just being outside, all that stuff, way better. If you're talking about like the packaged survival food, it's not. Yeah, no, it might look good, but it's not good. Hey, Shovel, how's it going? I'd say humans are swiggity. Like, if you mean most iconic, or like I understand the question is fantasy species. Yeah. Okay. And humans are in fictional fantasy as well. A lot of times they are that basic human race. I'd say orcs are, and I'm going to say again, no. I mean, not all like fictional human exist. Like, no one is gonna be like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. You know how long his life is? His life is like super long. He's a fictional human. But if you really want my true answer, it is, in my mind, it is either a dwarf or an elf that comes to mind when I think of like a fictional race. Like if I think of a, okay, if I'm thinking of a D&D party, this is what's in the D&D party. There's an elf and a dwarf at very least. There's always a human. And then the fourth can be just whatever. But if you want like very basic, that's what I would say is a like staple. If you're asking Lord of the Rings, I'll probably say a hobbit. I think for like a lot of comics I've seen with fantasy, people do use goblins quite a bit. Not seen a bit of... Yeah, the ones I've seen, it's always like elves or goblins. Never really seen much of the dwarves. Actually, talking about dwarves, there is a 40k artist. I think, yeah, they do the same style as... Oh, what is it? It's... I'm trying to remember the name. It is literally a puzzle game. You get demon girls, something like that. They made a second one where you're like get ghost chicks for some reason. Anyway, it's that same art style. And there's one where I saw they did like 40k, and it was a humans interacting with Voten. And the... like, one of the Voten was a... like, I guess equivalent of a tech priest. And they were interacting with like the regular human sergeant, and they'd be like, we'll be loyal and everything as long as, you know, everything's beneficial. And I guess the idea was like some sort of like romance comic. I thought it was a neat little story and everything, and just like the people, like the tech priest and the other dwarf are like arguing back and forth, and then yeah, the other characters like went off. They didn't do anything. It was just they had a conversation, and pretty much she was like, I'll watch your back because you still owe me like such and such thing. I think elves in general are associated with the forest, and that's more back to like with their mythology, if that makes sense. Like the actual like original ideal of an elf, like in our mythology, is associated with like spirits and the forest and stuff like that. So the color green is associated with all of that, and that's why I think a lot of them are green, because they're just meant to be a forest spirit. Even though reality, they can be like any color clothes, or they don't have to be associated with the forest. There's one Ecus, I can't even pronounce it. There's one anime that takes the idea of like elves only being vegetarian and doing this, and they're like, that's stupid. We live for like hundreds of years, and why wouldn't we be good? Like, why wouldn't we be good at crafting? Why wouldn't we do like eat meat and stuff like that? Like, yeah, we still respect the forest, but makes no sense we like pinhole ourselves to just do that. And I like that quite a bit. I like when they take the normal tropes that we associate them with and just kind of flip it on their head. Like, cool, it's an elf with a bow, but like, would they truly be good with, like, would a bow be the only weapon they use, or would they actually be better with like a sword and shield and stuff like? Oh, there's another creator that I mean, Swiggity, would you, if you had all the time in the world, would you really go out and kind of risk your life either? Or would you just be a little more laissez-blah about things? Maybe like, I can get done whatever I want because I have the time to do it. Like, most humans you meet are like, I mean, most humans are boring half the time. Everyone does have an interesting story, but most of the time, people don't crack that nut to find it and make them treat everyone else as being really boring. That's what it boils down to. Even me. Oh, I just actually say especially me. That's very true, Taylor. That is... Like, why high school? Like, unless they actually look the age of, like, 14 or something, which I'm pretty sure they don't. Like, they could pass for a young 20-year-old or something. College would be a better thing for them to do, but college would be a thing a lot more paperwork and stuff like that. But honestly, like, I think you could get away with it better than high school. Being a vampire in the modern age would... It's just more of a hassle, because I have to change my identity every, let's say, 30 years. Yeah, we'll say 30 years. And I look like the age of a early person in their 20s. Yeah. As long as you don't have a, like, if you keep switching the classes and you... College, I think you could get away with it a lot more if you were a vampire. You go to a college that has a lot of different classes, a lot of different professors, and people that kind of switch out all the time. If it makes sense. It'd be like, okay, I'm going to take like these courses for 4 years and then switch to another one. You'll just keep saying like, oh, I'm just going for my master's in this. I'm going for my bachelor's in that. And like, yeah, maybe by like 20 years, someone's going to be like, why are you still here? But then at that point, you could just go to another college and restart there? Possibly. Again, it comes to the hassle of redoing your documents, like changing your name, getting all this stuff. Like, you have to set things up so far in advance. Oh god, I think there's a Dracula TV show or something like that, where this like foundation actually captures Dracula, and then like his lawyer shows up and be like, yeah, you gotta let my client go by like this time. And they're like, what? Dracula has a lawyer? And they're like, yeah, Dracula's been a part of our firm since our founding. And I think there's a woman that asks like, don't you find it weird that like you've had a client since the 1800s? And they're like, I mean, it's a little weird, but I don't care. I'm getting paid, and he pays really nicely. So that's like, you gotta have that stuff set up. Ooh, excuse me. I wonder if you were a vampire, if it makes sense to be a museum curator. I mean, depending on when you became a vampire and you had all your stuff stored in the right spot, you could start a museum with, like, pretty priceless artifacts and collections. I mean, you're not going to think about that. But almost, I think I would do that. almost pull a little bit of a Trazen, but like it'd be like, okay, who's the owner of the museum? I mean, a museum is also a public place too, so you don't got to worry about that whole being invited in and everything. I think if you like bought the property and maintained it, also, what is the rule? Like, if you gotta be invited to a house, what if you own the house? Okay, I bought the house, I invite myself in. Like, what's the rule on that? I know some shows, they make it be like, vampires can't own the property, it's gotta be owned by someone else. Which, personally, I just find dumb. Be like, okay, I buy a property, I'm the owner of the home, I invite myself in. I'm fine. I mean, yeah, I understand the rule's supposed to be residents you don't own, but like, some TV shows or movies make it be like, the house that I live in it is mine, but it's also not mine because I can't own property, or it's gotta be like open for anyone to come in so that I can be here. And it's just like, that's a really dumb, convoluted rule. What's up, I? How's it going? Fair enough. I had a video or something that I saw once popped into my head. Was like, if you're a 200-year-old vampire and you don't have your like massive amount of wealth figured out, then you kind of failed as a vampire. And I'm like, the longer a society goes on, like, the harder it's going to be to accumulate wealth. You'd almost, like, the amount of wealth you need to live as a vampire is almost an astonishing amount. Honestly, I was just going to say rule of cool. I think the rule of cool is more important than logic. I'm sure there's also some reason. Like, the coats probably have some sort of, like, extra thermal thing. Because you don't really know how, like, heavy that armor is, or if it is even properly keeping them warm. Yeah. I will say, in the winter, in like a cold place, I'm wearing 3 coats most of the time. Like, I'll be wearing a t-shirt, a flannel, a sweatshirt, an overcoat, and then an outer coat. That's like 5 layers if I think about it. I can cut 2 out. I don't have to wear a flannel, but... What is little Nicky? Ugh. I should not have started so late. I should have started at 7. Why did I decide to play a game? I've been playing the Minecraft mod Cobblemon a lot recently. And it's been enjoyable. I definitely want to play with friends, and it'd definitely be better if you like played on a server that has gyms and stuff like that. Single player is fun. It's just Minecraft with Pokemon added. That's it. Like, there's no gyms, not other stuff. Definitely things that are going to be added in at some point. But I like it over Pixelmon. I mean, Pixelmon was nice in the beginning, but then they made the models way too close to, like, the actual TV show and everything, and it lost the Minecraft feel. And I was like, I don't enjoy it as much because it kind of takes me out of it. So it's Cobblemon. It still feels like I'm playing Minecraft with just a few extra friends. Which orcs? You gotta be specific. Also, I don't have a lot of information on that topic. Again, are you asking about 40k? Okay, in my mind, it's spelled the same way no matter what. Yeah, I still spell it with a K even when I'm talking to people about D&D and stuff. Like, seeing the word orc spelled with a C just makes me think of orcas, as when I see it spelled with a K, I actually think of orcs, like green skin, tusk, all that. Hmm. Yeah, there we go. I plan on doing silver over the head here, and same for the sword. I think so. I think the dry brushing that I did looks okay. The style dry brushing. I gotta stop lifting it up here. I gotta bring it down here. I'm used to it being up there. Focus there. I think the silver, and when I do the white, will look really good too. Nope, you don't want to focus like that. I want to be like there. So, I like that. Wow, that is actually really nice. That is such a nice gradient. Would silver make the most sense for the sword and the halo? Or would another metallic make more sense? Because here's the thought. Is if I do silver, it's a very bright color. I probably should. Worst thing I do is I do the silver, and then I compare it to, well, it's either that or gold. I think gold might be a little bit too much. Weirdly, I kind of like it as it is, and I don't want to add any color to it. I think leaving it white and the same thing with the sword might actually be better. That might be the better move. I could do that. Go with either a gunmetal or... Yeah, it definitely would. Weirdly, I like the white halo and all that a little bit more. I might not even touch it. Like, I might not. Really all depends. Ooh, okay. I'm done with the speed paints now. And I can move over to acrylics. But I kind of want to work on this guy a little bit too. I know exactly what colors I'm going for with this one. Holy crap, I just realized, did I add the campaign badge as an extra too? I did. Well, campaign badge on my normal Chaplain Judiciar is an extra. I should try making my own Chaplain again at some point. But the thing is, I want to do this in brown. Like that brown cloth that I did for the other one. And the armor needs to be a very dark blue. Might actually hold off on that. Oh yeah, no, both arms are magnetized on this guy. So I magnetized that because in the video, I wanted the option to either do that or... There's that, and then I don't think I have his pistol. I don't know where his pistol arm is. That's currently missing. But I also had this. Because if I was going to do a Judiciar, this would be a better looking one. because he's got a little bauble that's smoking and stuff. But I also have the pistol arm somewhere. So he could have this and the pistol, or the shield and pistol. But a lot of times I run it as with a shield. Well, thank you. This was actually one of the first guys that I tried magnetizing. Ooh. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted the option to run either or. So that's what I did. Which I might actually have to run him like this for a little bit. He had something on his arm there for a while, and at some point I just took it off and tried to repaint over it. I wonder if he had a little, yeah, I wonder if he had this on his arm. We'll set you to the side. And do I want to do you, or do I want to continue on those guys? Oh, what the hell? Why is there a tick right there? Come here. Yeah, randomly there was just a tick crawling on my desk. I don't know where that came from. That's good to hear, Grim. I'm glad you have recovered completely. What do I have to do with these guys? I have to do... I mean, I could do the brown because of their little daggers. That's just a dog tick. That's not a deer tick. Still possible to get Lyme disease, but not as severe, I think. Hmm. When I get the Mark of Nurgle tattooed, I'm going to get it on the scar and have a row of teeth following the scar. You know, once you get that Mark of Nurgle on your body, you're gonna be sick all the time. And you're gonna be like, why am I sick? And your Nurgle tattoo is never gonna fully heal. But it'll never hurt. Wait a minute. Is his pistol arm in my case? It was for a bit. I don't know where it went. Nah, it's not my case anymore. It was on one of my trays for a while. Countered by the mark of the other 4 gods. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Going for that, Age of Sigmar Chaos God style. Nice. Let's see. The oak is a little more ready, a little more red than the burgundy. So we'll do burgundy first as a base, then do the oak, and then maybe do leather if I need to. Center of your forehead. Put it on the center of your forehead. Or you could do what Sweetie said and get a Aquila tattoo and put that on your forehead. Welcome back, AR. Base of the skull, damn. Oh, you got those like off right now. Damn, I thought that was like a tomorrow thing. Okay, Chaplain. Let's get your coat looking nice and spiffy. Oh, okay. There's gonna be a few layers of this brown on, I think. Excuse me. I've had a busy day. I had to... Actually, I rushed myself at work so I get done early, but then I had to sit at work for like 2 hours waiting for customers to show up so I could load them with material so I could call it a day. And I am just a little bit exhausted. I'm sure they'll be sore for a bit, And any muscles and stuff you had against the metal that was cutting is going to be like red and sore. So give it a week or two and that will heal up and be right as rain. Did I get my art game box? No. I did not. I did not get the Armageddon box. Yeah, okay. That's fair. I mean, give yourself time again. It'll be weird because you're used to having the, braces and stuff. Your body will learn that it's okay. Also. You saw Space Marine regret in his eyes? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by Space Marine regret? Does he not like the Space Marines? I love the Space Marines. Well, no, I'm not giving you my box. I only have the Space Marine half and all the extra. I don't have the orcs and stuff. But maybe I'll get these guys primed tomorrow. And maybe I'll get them painted somewhat soon. I want to finish building the box before I paint these guys up. But this is my favorite looking model out of the whole box. I gotta do some little lightning stuff for the staff. There was a person on Instagram that, yeah, I follow them. And I reached out and asked, like, yo, how do you do the little lightning stuff on your staff? And he sent me a reel of him using this, like, little copper wire. And I'm like, oh, I have something similar, so I should be able to do it. What do you mean by Xeno Trinity? You said that twice now, Grim, and I'm curious what you mean. And already just the brown on the coat makes this look better. Tutter's Terminators hold their combi bolters like gangster. I don't know. That's a good question. I think the Lion is still good on the tabletop. With 11, he is still good. He's actually cheaper now than what he was before. He's like 280 something points. The main thing that he's got fights first and deep strike on his model. So he's someone that you want to use for up close melee stuff. Some people, he's got an ability that in your command phase you can put him into strategic reserves in the beginning of your command phase, so that you could rapid ingress him in your opponent's movement phase at some point. He's got the ability. Yes. I can. This is off memory. Let me find his data sheet. His main thing is he gives units around him himself like buffs. That is the main thing, but I'll look up the Lions data sheet. Lionel Johnson. There we go. Wikipedia. So, like I said earlier, he's got Deep Strike and Fights First, which Fights First is iffy now, from what I've heard. So, his abilities. Primarch of the First Legion. At the start of your command phase, select 2 Primarch of the First Legion abilities. Until the start of your next command phase, this model has those abilities. And then other ones are the Emperor's Shield. Each time an attack is allocated to this model, if the strength characteristic of that attack is greater than the toughness characteristic of this model, subtract 1 from the wound roll. So, like, because he's a toughness 9 model, anything that's a toughness 10 or above, instead of hitting on 3s, they're going to be hitting on 4s. That would be pretty good. Unless there's strength 18, then it would be on 3s, but there's nothing that's a strength 18 to my knowledge. The other one, Dark Angel Bodyguards. While this model is within 3 inches of one or more friendly Adeptus Stardy infantry units, this model has Lone Op. So keeping the Lion within 3 inches of other infantry models around him makes it so your opponent can't shoot him from across the board and stuff like that, which has been very helpful for me a few times, especially with 11th and how there's the whole detection range and all that stuff. Because I almost got him shot by a Bane Blade, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's got Lone Op because of this. Now, for his First Legion abilities, you got Myth Wraith Shadow Realmed. That's a tongue twister for me. Pretty much in your command phase, if this unit's not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, you can remove it from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserves. The other one, and these next two are auras. Martial Exemplar. While a friendly Adeptus Stardy unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time that unit makes a melee attack, reroll the hit rolls of 1 and reroll. You pretty much reroll 1s on hit rolls and wound rolls. And then the other one, no hiding from the Watchers, another aura. While friendly Adeptus Stardy units are within 6 inches of this model, models in that unit have a feel no pain of a 4-up against mortal wounds. So, anyone tries to tank shock you, grenades, stuff like that, or does mortal wounds to you, you have an ability to save from it now. And this also includes on him. So if someone tries to do mortal wounds on him, you got anyone 6 inches from him, they also get it as well. Or he also gets it. So, I disagree with that, Swiggity. The Lion, I would say that the Lion isn't as strong as people make him out to be. He's still scary, and you gotta play him right. You can't just leave him in the open. You have to play him correctly. And I've had to learn that. I don't know Gilliman's data sheet, and I think it would be the same thing with that. The Chaos Primarchs, maybe, but the Chaos Primarchs are more points and also more expensive to buy. You missed a little bit, Ando. Just sitting here and painting is all I'll say. Not really sure what you mean by kill teamy. But the main thing, at least what I found with the line, is you want to use him as a positioning piece. Have him either behind terrain or behind somewhere where he can't be shot, but you could use him to spring a trap, pretty much. So, yeah, using the lion as a trap piece is how I look at it. Or if you're able to, and you can get some units into your opponent's back line, and he can start doing some damage. Ah, okay. No, that fully makes sense. I haven't done much kill team stuff, so I can't really speak on it all too much. Yeah. For me, it's keeping the line somewhere within close to mid-board or to like an important section. And if I can charge him into something, or if I can do a heroic intervention, makes it like more worth it in my mind. I've actually had him fight against a demon prince, a Tzeentch demon prince, and he lost. And it was so close. It was down to like a couple dice rolls. Really, if I didn't kill the demon prince at that moment, I lost that game. But killing the demon prince was important to like my turn 3 onward game plan, it turned out, because I was playing a Thousand Sun sorcerer, or a Thousand Sun player that had nothing but Terminators on his list and a few other things, and it was just it was a freaking grind fest. I kept holding my expansion and other stuff, but he just kept bringing in more and more Terminators, and I'm like, I need to have some way to make this swing in my favor, and it was literally trying to take out the Demon Prince. I have no idea on my thoughts on that, because I don't play Horus Heresy and I don't know anything on that. So I don't have any words to say or weigh in on that. That is a good question. Because I've had that happen to me a few times. Like, there's some units... What's up, Dorzo? The first number that comes to mind is 300, and it really kind of depends on the model. Like, it depends on the army and depends on what I'm trying to do. Like, anything that's 400, I really don't look at. The Deathwing Knights, when I look at them, I'm like, 250, that's a lot of points. I could do other things. Like, why do I want to add in Deathwing Knights? But they're one of those units that are really well utilitied for me in my list. Whether I run them with the mace or I run them with the sword. That's not what I wanted to do. I do agree with the idea of allied knights are not... If you're going to run knights, you really should just run a knight list and not throw in anything allied, because No, it wouldn't be good. Like, I'm not going to spend... Because there's so much more to the game than just killing at this point. Like, if you're just doing a kill game, then yeah, freaking take it. I still think for me it's around that 400 to 300 point line. Like, yeah, that's sweet. It brings up. It is a strategy game. It's less about the killing stuff and more about outthinking your opponent a lot of times. I mean, if you play Space Marines, you're more adapted to just kill things than you are to score points, because they're an elite army. Like, if you're playing anything that's high points as Space Marines, Custodes, Knights, you're more apt to just kill things and score points. I haven't done the boss fight mode yet. I have the book. It's still sitting in the box. I need to open it up and actually give it a read. Kind of going back to like my point thing, the line intent was 315 points. Like, that falls within my... That's too many points to take within a list, but it also depends on the list. Like, if I'm doing 1,000 points, I have to be a lot more conservative on what I bring. So I can't really bring... Like, okay, I can spend like a good portion of my list for the Lion, but is he going to be worth in that 1,000-point game? Is he going to do what I would need him to do? Or am I more apt to take that extra 300 points and spend it on some other units that are going to be better? That's kind of where I look at it. It's all utility now. I used to look at it as a killing game. Now I'm looking at it as a utility game and what might do better. I mean, hell, that's why I said earlier, I'm removing the Judiciar from my Space Marine list, and he's 55 points, and I'm adding in a Chaplain that's 60. And I'm doing that because I think the Judiciar isn't as good anymore for my list than what the Chaplain can bring. The Chaplain still has its place, and if I could, I would still bring the Chaplain and a Judiciar. I would love for a Chaplain and a Judiciar to be in the same unit together. They can't be, but I'd love that to be the case. But I think the ability of adding one, like, +1 to the wound roll is better than having fights first and the precision on my characters. Well, no, the precision was only for the Judiciar. It wasn't on the rest of the unit. And he was meant to be really just a character killer. And I'm not really dealing with a lot of characters for my Blade Guard. Like, if I know I'm going to go into fighting a lot of characters, I might switch to a Judiciar. But a lot of times I don't know what I'm about to fight. Ooh, that's a nice Grim. A little Demon Curse. I mean, it is sad, but I am also like... I'm excited because I planned on changing the list at some point anyways. And this is just that first minute change. Because in 10th, I had a 2,000 point list. And it was semi-decent. And the Judiciar was a part of that list. And it, like, was a key model to have in that unit. Now, in 11th, that's not really the case. Because Fights First is... With now, like, Fights First not really being as well from how I understand it. More meaning, like, the opponent who charged, they're still the ones fighting first, even if your unit has Fights First. It just means, like, after they select their first unit to fight, your Fights First unit is going to go in and then do all the stuff it needs to do. It still alternates back and forth, so it's like, there's not really a point in having it. At least that's how I feel. From what I heard, people were... Okay, so, I'm going to go back a little step. People were afraid that 10th was going to favor shooting armies quite a bit, but it turned out it actually favored melee quite a bit more. And everyone was scared that 11th was going to favor melee, but it's actually favoring more shooting armies. I think the lists that are going to do the best are the ones that are versatile in both. Like, having the detection range does help my opponent quite a bit. Like, there was a few times where I played against guard and I wanted to shoot at them, but I couldn't because I was just out of range. So I just had to look at his models from a distance and be like, well, I can't do anything there to you. Excuse me. I'm excited to see your Chaos list as well, Dorzo. I want to see what it looks like. But yeah, I decided for these Blade Guard for when they do get in the melee. Okay, so in a 6-man squad of Blade Guard, I am running for characters a chaplain and a lieutenant as support. That. Get that going. There. Ooh, you should do that, Dorzo. Noodles doing a stream. Good on him. Yeah, like I showed off earlier, I can run this guy as a chaplain. He still can. But I think I need to give this guy some spotlight. Oh, if I could, I'd run both. I do want to run both. But with that also being said, yeah, definitely gonna give this guy some time. This one can sit on the side for a little bit. I'll still bring him the games. He can watch his brothers and stuff go. A little odd how they have the same pose. I mean, yeah, they do currently, but again, I can change this however I want with the magnets. But again, these are the same base model. I built this Judiciar out of a Chaplain model. I bought this Chaplain model first, then bought this guy to do a Judiciar. And I probably will buy a Judiciar this... I'll buy the, the Donald War game that's being sold at Target. I'll buy that just for the models. And I kind of want to actually make another chaplain. If in my list currently I have 4 chaplains. Not okay, in my army I have those 2 chaplains, a chaplain in Terminator armor, and a chaplain with jetpack. Those are all the chaplains I own. I don't need any more. What do you mean I don't have a spare Inner Circle companion? I have 6. I have 6 Inner Circle companions and another box as well. But if I'm building Inner Circle, I'm building them as Inner Circle. I'm not building them as a chaplain. Actually, I kind of need to look and see how many of my... Do I have... Did I buy 6 from that one guy or 3? I think I bought 6 from one guy, which I need to paint them up to look like Inner Circle. And then I got my 6 that I want to actually paint up and all that stuff. Actually, by technicality, I have 5, because I have the Black Templar's chaplain that I just made into a lieutenant. Nice! We always love a good surprise delivery. Do. I think I kind of realize is I want to have the option to run like okay, I want the option to run 2. So for each unit, I want to be able to run 2 max size units if I want to. So it's like if I want to run 20 Reavers, I can run 20 Reavers. If I want to run like 20 Intercessors, I can run 20 Intercessors. Once I get to that point and I have another box, I'm like, okay, this one I'm using for bits and stuff. So once I'm done with my once I make 3 more Inner Circle, I'm gonna go get another box and turn those and use them as kit bashing bits. Technically, I already have enough of the Deathwing Knights. I have another box of Deathwing Knights, so I'm just going to use that guy as a good kit bashing one. I definitely have a plan for one of the Deathwing Knights to turn into a Captain and Terminator armor. That is definitely the plan. Wow. If I do buy another Chaplain model, what do I want to do with it? I don't even know. I don't want to make it be a base Chaplain. I want to make it into a really cool model. Like, I want... Really what I want is the head for some other bits in the future, or the hood, because I really like the hood. And I want the cloak. I don't care about the arms or the backpack. I just want the center base. Excuse me. Okay. Wow, I'm glad I've learned to thin my paint and layer up a little bit more. Because that is a smooth base coat right there. Like, that's a very nice base coat. I think it's looking cleaner than what I'm trying to base it off of. Like, yeah, wow, that does look cleaner. Got to touch one part up already, but I think I literally did... I think I did like a burgundy something, then I did the contrast paint over the coat and kept layering it up. I did like a leather brown one part and then did a layer, and it's like, oh. Yeah, that's the problem, is that everything's so expensive when it comes to Warhammer. Like, kit bashing anything together isn't worth it. Oh, that's nice to hear, Octopus. Okay. Let's touch up his hood. Next color I'm going for is Oak Brown. It's a bit more of a red brown. It's on the... So the burgundy is part of Army Painter's brown line. Oak Brown's a part of its ruddy brown. It's more of a reddish brown. So I like the mixture of a dark red for my leather. Kind of like an old Western movie when you see them in their, like, duster coats. That's what I think of when I want to do my leather coats or cloaks, stuff like that. Yes, my hands did just teleport. That was quick with the food. Let's just get it very thin. It's too thick. I gotta thin it out a bit more. I try really hard to layer up these colors. Ooh, that sounds like a good color mixture. Okay, Right now, you guys can... I can barely see it within my hands. I know on the camera you can barely see the little leather chain, or the brown change. I'm happy with the way it is looking currently, because that means it is thin enough and working as a layer. Yes. You know, closer than I like, but not close enough for fantasy me to be happy with. Does that make sense? Oh, you don't gotta remind me. I was in middle school when we all thought it was gonna end. God, were we fools then. Uh, 2012. Well, really depends on the definition of world end. Like, is our society as we know it ending? Because that can be considered our world. Are we considering the planet that we're on actually ending? What is the true definition of world end? Because the Roman world, the world of the Romans ended at one point, but the world kept on spinning around them. For the dinosaurs, their world ended, but life kept on going. So then you're just talking about human society ending, not the actual world itself. true point. Alright, that is a true point. Damn, I should have taken a before picture. Should have taken a before picture of this model and then an after. Oh wow, that back part of the coat is actually looking really good. Holy crap. Like, that's the front, that's the brown there. Actually, we got one side compared to the other. I know I had the before somewhere. I might, did I post it on Instagram? I don't think I did. I might have a picture of it somewhere. I like to make the edges of this look a little distressed. I'm loving that. It's actually giving me a worn leather feel. It's exactly what I'm going for. Yay! Oh, there is no... This chaplain's not in any video. Oh, you mean like in like the stream. Okay. I should end stream soon and get some sleep. I can always pick this up tomorrow. Ah, you're a handsome boy. I love this. You know, sometimes I need to do models like this. I've said before, like, when I do, like, doing competition pieces are a good way to test your skill and see how far you improved. I'm going back to a model that I started, like, 2.5 years ago. This was, like, for my very first... Okay, actually, straight up. Like, straight up. This chaplain is from when I first started Warhammer. I bought my first 2,000 point list, built this chaplain, tried to paint everything within 2 weeks, and I remember sitting at my desk or on my couch, painting up the gold and all the stuff that's white that you see here. Pretty much besides the armor and the cloak did not get paint. Everything else did. And now I'm going back to this model and I'm touching up his cloak. I'm like, I'm getting kind of excited and overwhelmed a little bit. I don't mean to, like, overhype myself here, but just more the fact of, like, I remember building and having this guy and being like, I wasn't happy, but I remember he looked cool. And then I did this guy, and I started running this guy, and this guy's literally sat in the shelf. He sat in the box for like 2 years, and I've just run this guy. And now I compare this guy to this. I think I might just redo everything on here. Instead of stripping, I'm like gonna touch up some things. But I think he's gonna look better than this guy. And now I want to make this guy match this guy level. Ooh. Because this looks cleaner. I'm like running through in my head. Like, what is something I like about the model? And it's the fact that this looks cleaner than the other one. Don't do it. I know it. Yes, it does look fine, but it's the fact of like, can I, like, Yeah, I'm just not trying to overdo it too much. Because kind of exactly what I'm doing for the coat now is what I wanted to do with that guy. And this is exactly what I'm doing. And here's the thing, like, future me is going to be like, damn, I remember, like, doing this model, and then now I'm at this point, and I made it look like this. Like, maybe in 5 years, I am actually doing more better centerpieces and all that stuff. I don't think I will, but I definitely think this guy is on the right track of where I like to take stuff. All good. I think I'm actually going to call it here. It's 10:30 for me, and I should get some sleep. But I will keep working on this guy. And definitely everything else. But yeah, I am doing well. So yeah, you guys enjoy your evening. I'm going to try. I think I will stream again tomorrow. Hopefully a lot sooner. But if you enjoy the content, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I try to stream 3 days a week, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going into about 10. Really kind of depends on my mood and everything. Like, this one was way later than I should have done. Also, if you want to be a part of the community and talk to us, share your hobbies, your models, all of that other stuff, I have a Discord. It is in the stream video section and in the channel. It is completely free to join. Also, if you want to support the channel a little bit more monetarily, I do have a Ko-Fi account that you can go and donate to. I'm debating about starting a Patreon, but I'm not really sure how I feel about it. But we'll see. So, I think I covered all the bases. But with that all being said, you don't really have to do any of that. just having you here, hanging out, staying around when I'm quiet and vegging out or excited and hyperactive, it's more than enough. I get on here to be a silly little goober or just kind of see my progress slowly over time, become better and better. So, with that all being said, I want you to go out there and make something awesome. I know you will.